What up, everybody? Hopefully, y'all are having a wonderful time on this Friday Eve. I cannot thank you enough for keeping this show going, coming up on this fourth year of doing this show, and well over 260 episodes in the pipelines, and continuously bringing you awesome content day in and day out. I have a man, Derek, coming through from the Cyber Warrior. You definitely got to check him out. Uh, Derek, can you just tell them a quick thing that you've been working on right now before we play the quick intro?
Yeah, so I am the Cyber Warrior, Cyber Warrior Studios. I am the founder and the sole host of all my shows. I used to have a few co-hosts, but that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, the biggest show I run is Security Happy Hour, and it's where we bring newcomers and veterans to cybersecurity onto the show and talk about all things, whether anything from ADHD and autism to becoming a CISO or breaking into the industry. There's so much we cover on so many episodes. I got about 100 and I think I'm at like 160 some episodes now. It's crazy. I didn't even realize I've been doing it that long. It's been a while. But I do that. I have a lot of motivational stuff out there as well. I really do like to dig into personal accountability and responsibility, and try to motivate others to kind of pick themselves up. So I'm going to be getting back into that podcast soon, called Walk With Me. So that's another one of my shows. That's where this logo above me comes from. So yeah, other than that, I work in cybersecurity. I've been a manager for over a year now, and I'm also a military veteran. So it's always fun.
Hey, thank you again for your service, sir.
Definitely.
All right, let's get this intro and be right back. You're listening to the About That Water podcast. We'll be right back after these messages.
Even the best and the brightest this world has to offer have coaches and mentors. Build strong money-making behaviors by applying financial concepts and strategies with Anthony Weaver on the About That Wallet Show. It's time to get off the bench and get in the game. Now, here's your host, Anthony Weaver.
What up, what up, what up? We in here. So if you guys, I'm doing a giveaway at the end of the show. I think I'm going to do that at the 45-minute of the show to give away a mug, a free mug from the About That Water podcast. So it just says About That Water podcast. You can actually sip and listen to all of your favorite shows, of course mine, and all of your favorite guests if you want to. All right, so we have a lot going in today. What we're going to be talking about essentially is pretty much that two-factor authentication. You hear it all the time, the 2FA. That's what it stands for. We're talking about some basic high-level cybersecurity tips, going over creating strong passwords to avoid phishing scams. Some of you guys hear this as basic things, but these things work. We're not saying this just to be saying it. The stuff works and it will save you a lot. And then further on, we're going to be talking about how AI can play a huge role in the online security and information spread. And then also, how can you actually mitigate your exposure and also to the world along with AI as well? I mean, AI can be your friend and also your enemy. Just think about that trash can. That trash can can help you throw some trash away, but you can easily trip over it and fall or hurt yourself at the same time. Just saying.
That's worse than stubbing your toe, homie, especially late at night. That's just painful.
Man, so Derek, one of the things that I love about your show, and what keeps me tuning in from time to time, is that you really are out there for the people to help them first get some money, because IT is, I can say, it sounds a lot, and IT in general is what a lot of people say when they really mean, like, it's kind of hard to say what you mean because IT is so broad. Mm-hmm. It's almost saying like, oh yeah, I like water. Well, what part of water do you like? The ocean water? You want lake? Like, do you like the bathtub? You want a shower? Like,
I like going to the beach. Which beach? Are we going to salt water? Are we going to whatever? And you're not wrong. Right, IT, cybersecurity, they're both huge, and it's one of the biggest problems we run into as mentors in the industry, again, I've been in the industry, let's see, I got into IT. I mean, I've been fixing computers since I was 7 years old, but I actually officially got into IT probably around 2004 when I entered the Air Force. And, you start learning all these different things, and you realize just how broad it is. And now we have this onset of cybersecurity, which isn't that old. The industry of cybersecurity is only, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
The military didn't even come out with jobs in cyber until I was getting out of the Air Force in 2009-ish. Around that time is when they got their first jobs in cyber. So it's not that old. And so, yeah, the industry itself is broad. And so the hardest problem we have is people going, oh, I want to get into IT, or I want to get into cyber. Cool. What do you want to
What
do?
part? Right.
I don't know. Well, we'll see. Now we need to have a discussion, do some research, and come back to me, and let's figure it out.
Yeah.
But again, to your point, and this being, about that wallet, a lot of people get into it for money.
Yeah.
Not a bad reason to get into it, but it shouldn't be your sole reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much to learn. And again, I have a difference of opinion than a lot of people in that I feel like if you're chasing money, you're never going to be happy.
Yep.
And so getting into IT for money, you aren't going to be happy ever, because you're always learning. You're always got to grow. You always got to come up in the industry and learn something new and do something new and change jobs or whatever. And so money's the wrong reason to do it. Can you make a lot of money? Yes. But it requires discipline, and it requires, really balancing your checkbook and being able to do these things. So I think that issue comes into play a lot because they see dollar signs and they don't see what it takes to get to those dollar signs.
And with the way how AI is going, and just in general, people like, oh man, I don't even know how to even remember my password. And now you're throwing on another layer of technology on top of the thing that I don't even know about. And people thinking about the flexibility of working from home. And a lot of people from the white collar jobs are like, oh man, this is great. I don't have to stay in one location, blah, blah, blah. It's like, how do we move forward and keep this going?
Mhm.
And for those of you who are just joining, if you want to get inside this raffle at the end of I think at the 45-minute mark, we're going to do a mug giveaway. So go ahead and type in hashtag I will do it. Hashtag I will do it in the chat on YouTube. Or if you're on Facebook, you can go down and throw that in there so that you can get inside this raffle. But I have to say that, the way how we be going with this, from a technology standpoint and a lifestyle, I think it's going to change our lifestyle of how do we make money at the sense, because everybody's getting laid off. Like Tesla just laid off like 2,800 people.
So that's the hard part, right? So when you, again, chasing dollar signs.
Yeah.
So we are now, everything has its ebb and flow. All right. So right now, if you're getting in and you are expecting to make money immediately, you're wrong. The low end of salaries is dropping, the high end is dropping, and it's because companies are now, things are balancing back out. Not in the way people would think, though, because with all these layoffs now you have all these really experienced people that have been in the industry for a while that are just looking for a job.
Yeah.
And you have these people that are just trying to break in that are looking for a job. Well, the problem is a lot of these people just trying to break in are coming from other career fields. And it makes it very difficult for them, even though they may have the knowledge, they may have the aptitude for it, they may be able to learn. But when you're trying to break into an industry where people have been laid off already, so now they can slide into these other roles and do that job because they just want to get hired. So they're not fighting for their salary because they just need a salary. And I think that's the problem we're having right now is it had this influx.
Right.
People got laid off. So now I could put senior people in basically mid-level roles just because they need a paycheck. I could pay them less to do more because they know more.
See, but I was thinking about it because, we talked offline a little bit about how you went through accounting coming up. So, the supply and demand process.
Yep.
And so usually we got paid on the output that we used to do. And it took a lot for us to actually put in that work. We got to show up, do the work, and just produce this output. But also on the top of the line from the business side of the house, you want more output with at least little work as possible.
Well, it's more output for less money.
Right.
See, what you're finding is these companies that have laid all these people off are asking their current workforce to do more for the same amount they were getting paid. And let's think about it this way. When we're looking at the raises within a lot of organizations, not all, I've worked for some great organizations that'll give you a raise, not based on COLA, not based on, a percentage, but hey, you do good work. I like what you do. I'm going to pay you an extra 10 grand a year or 15 grand a year, whatever. So the percentage goes out the window. But unfortunately, there's still a lot of organizations that do things based on percentage. And so when you've got like inflation rates that have gone through the roof, we're talking 7, 8, 9, 10, 11%, and your raise is only 3%. Now I'm not even catching up to being able to afford to live, and now I'm making less money effectively.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of what we're seeing is these people are getting laid off. Even if they go and they get a job for the same salary they were making, you're still making less because everything else has gone up. So you have to be able to make more. And within our industry, people aren't fighting for the higher raises. They want to keep their job until they can find a new job. And when they find that new job, it's not always secure. Because if you go from, let's just say a consulting firm, they're making good money. They got it coming in. Those are some of the best places to work right now. Your MSPs, MSSPs, because with all these organizations laying people off, they feel I can pay someone 300 grand a year, let's just say, to manage all my security instead of paying 5 people at 500 grand a year. It's all about balancing the books. And in the country we live in, the corporations want to make more money. Your CEOs want their bonuses. So how do they get their bonuses? Well, they got to cut funds somewhere.
Yeah.
And so they're cutting it from IT and cybersecurity because to them it's an expense. As long as the blinky lights blink, they don't care.
I swear, like it's almost like baking a cake without sugar. Like
or putting salt in your cake. Let's be honest. It's the one that puts like salt in their cake. I chose the wrong ingredient. I had this big bucket right here, and I just kind of put some in. It was the wrong thing.
Right.
Or like, flour or baking soda instead of flour, that type of thing. Okay. So it becomes problematic, and it's difficult because now you have MSSPs that'll ramp up and hire people or need to hire people. But until they have that money come in that they can pay them, they can't hire them. So now you're overworking your workforce because now we are bringing in clients to be able to afford more people without hiring those people first. And then by the time we hire those people, we got more clients coming in. And so it's a catch-22. Do you hire before you bring in the clients, or do you bring in the clients before you can hire?
That's a good question. But also, it's like, do you even bother with it or train them up to learn AI and get it done?
But AI is not the end all be all. All right, so let's talk about AI a little bit.
Right, yeah, let's bring it in.
And I had this conversation with on LinkedIn with Hacker Valley Media. So Ron Eddings, love him to death, big proponent of AI. Me and Chris Cochran agreed a little bit more that you need this human. You still need that human element because AI is not the end all be all. I'll give you, for instance, there are tools out there, whether it's endpoint detection and response, so EDR, or it's your security monitoring, or your patch management, whatever the case may be. And it's like, hey, we're going to automate all this. We're going to do all this automatically. We're going to utilize all these tools and all these techniques. But at the end of the day, it still fails. You still got breaches. You still got identities being stolen. I have EDR on every system I own. to include work systems and personal systems. Yet I've got the FBI that wants to come to my house because my wife's computer was compromised and it was involved in these huge breaches, right? All her data's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I've got alerts from every identity monitoring platform on earth because every program I have now has identity monitoring telling me, hey, your email is now on the dark web, or your personal information is here or here or here. So AI is not the end all be all because people are bypassing it. They're breaching companies. They're breaching organizations. They're doing all this because what's happening is these companies are buying tools that say, I have AI, ML, and UBA, and all you need to do is plug it in and you're good to go, and da-da-da-da. And so they plug it in, they turn it on, and they never hire a workforce to support it.
Or understand what's going on and where the code is being sent off to the back doors that are set up. Mm-hmm. Fun times.
So it gets crazy. So everybody's information is already out there. Let's just be blunt.
Yeah.
If you work online, if you work for a company, if you've ever bought anything from any company out there, your data's gone. Your first name, last name, middle initial, social security number, cell phone numbers, email addresses, and probably your password or password hashes. So I hope you don't reuse passwords because it's out there. And if you're reusing passwords, the same password for every single site, I can now log on to all of your stuff. And I've seen it happen. I've actually had to clean up accounts that had that happen.
So can you talk about, like, you know, for the people that are just joining, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, go ahead on and type in hashtag I will do it. So you can get inside this drawing. But one of the things is, like, how can we, as everyday people that are out here, really protect ourselves from either exposure? Well, how can we mitigate our exposure? Because there's no 100%.
So again, nothing is guaranteed 100%, as we all know. And well, I can't say all know, but as people should know. And I will reiterate, nothing is 100% guaranteed. There's things such as screenshots and screen saves and just ways that your information can get out there. But the best way you can do it is, unless you truly want the world to see what you're putting out there, make all of your profiles private or friends only. The second way is make sure your friends are not adding you for a second time without you picking up the phone and calling them. You see, I know when on Facebook somebody adds me and I look and I'm like, that's my aunt. I'm already friends with her.
Mm.
So me, as being me, because I'm that guy that doesn't care and I like to mess with people, I'll add them. For two reasons. One, I was in the military. All my information is already out there. You're not going to get anything else from me.
Right.
And all my friends and family know, if you have an issue, call me when it comes to that type of stuff. Two, because I like to mess with them. And so when they start messaging me and trying to scam me, I like to talk back to them and really see how far they're willing to dig their hole. And I had one, I kid you not, that was like, hey, oh no,
I said a comment.
I use incognito. Oh, and that's the other thing. Don't think incognito saves you anything. Eric follows me. It's on the link account, so it's on my YouTube channel. Eric knows. Incognito doesn't save you from anything. Literally, they're still spying on you. If it is Google, if it is Microsoft, if it is Apple, if it is whatever, don't let any company lie to you.
But then Google just recently had to go to Congress to say, like, hey, sorry you guys, we were spying on you. Like,
right. Our mics really were listening the whole time.
Right.
But so I like messing with these people because I will let them dig their hole. And then I'm like, dude, like I asked this one guy who was he cloned my aunt's Facebook page, added me as a friend, and I was like, did a little look, and I was like, still friends with her. Okay, cool. We adding him or her. I just kind of figured it was a him. So I was kind of like, all right, let's go. And by his tone of voice, I knew it was blatantly came out it was a dude, especially with the verbiage he used. And we're not going to get into it because it's not things that I should be saying on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, I was like, so have you looked at my profile? Yeah. Okay. So have you seen what I do for a living? Yeah. Then why are you even trying me, homie? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm doing that. No. If you really did look at my profile, you would know what I do for a living and you would know this is a lost cause. And he was like, well, yo, we should work together. No, if you're too stupid to do your research, we ain't working together because you're going to get me in trouble. Nah, I ain't getting caught over your dumb ass. Not going to happen. Like, but these things happen.
Yeah.
Instagram. All right, look, for all the dudes out there, and for women, it's usually Indian men that try to do this to you. But for dudes, it's probably Indian men also, but they use, female pictures that are either fake profile. Well, they're always fake profiles.
They're always fake profiles.
Whatever. They're going to do things, and they're going to try to get you to do some dumb stuff. And eventually it always comes down to either like Bitcoin or, my OnlyFans or whatever, but it's always fake links. Don't ever buy into it. It's always fake. They're not really talking to you. And if you really believe that Trish Stratus or Rhea Ripley is, hey, my account, I can't talk to you from WWE's account. I have to use this account. If you believe that, I'm sorry, you're an idiot and you deserve to be, owned. You really do.
Yeah.
Because these people have PR people for a reason. All right. And like, me and my wife sat down and had a full-blown conversation with a bot or an Indian dude or whatever that was claiming to be a woman and all this other stuff. We used every storyline from every Adam Sandler movie.
What?
By the time we got done, my father was about to lose his throne to, in hell. I had two brothers that were trying to take the throne. My stepdad left me money or whatever, Mr. Deeds. Like, we literally went through like a ton of different Adam Sandler movies.
Right.
And this person was like, oh, that's so sad. So about that, come on. So like, it's fun to mess with them. Like I do every once in a while. I'm like, I'm bored. Let's get some enjoyment for the day. Hey, babe, what are we doing today? Like, so it happens. But when you're looking at this, understand that all this is bots. When you're talking about protecting yourself, every account needs to be private. If you don't know someone, don't add them.
Yeah.
And if you do know them, but you're like, oh, I was already connected to this person, please pick up the phone, send a text message, a private message, something asking, hey, did you create another account?
Right.
Because that's the only way to find out. We are so hesitant to have that person-to-person contact anymore that we'll just take it at face value. And you can't do that. You cannot take anything at face value anymore, especially with social media. And look at our text messages. Look at everything that comes in. So, on the terms of AI, let's talk about the large amount of people trying to find people on LinkedIn guaranteeing a pass for a major IT cert. Oh, Dave. And you notice it's always the hot Chinese girl that's trying to get you to do it too.
Yeah. I was like, did you look at my
It's always the same picture. Right. Always the same picture. Different name, same picture. I guarantee you I could do a reverse Google image search and find this link to like 10 different LinkedIn profiles, if not more. Always. Right. But when there's a new scam going out right now, and this is something I want everybody to be aware of, and again, because it has to do with money. People with AI are cloning voices.
Yes, talk about it.
And they will call, and they will be like, "Hey, so I was on my way to Cancun, and so and so grabbed me, or I need this money, or I need these gift cards, or I need da 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 da." Yo, do me a favor, pick up the phone and actually call the person that they're saying to have claimed to have grabbed or done, or someone isn't available, because I will all but guarantee you it's a scam. Unless you live in a really, let's be honest, there's some really bad families out there. So if you live in one of those families, then you can just say no and hang up. But if you are literally fearful that something is going to happen to someone you love and care about, pick up the phone and call them. Yeah. Legitimately call them. And I did this for my wife when it came to the FBI. When you get a call and a voicemail from the FBI saying something about information being out there in cybersecurity, you get kind of worried. So I had to do a little bit of research and dig in and actually figure out if these numbers are legit and the people are legit.
Right.
And I did, found it, and he still has to come to my house. I got to call him back. But I haven't done it yet. I really need
it's fair.
I just haven't done it yet.
Life be life. I got you.
It's crazy. But when you're looking at this, it is all about protecting your identity. It's all about protecting who you are and protecting your family. You see, any normal person, any good person out there wants to protect the ones they love. Yeah. One of the biggest things I talk about is your emotions, because what's going to cause you to lose money, is going to cause you to lose your identity is your emotions.
Yep.
Because they are going to feed on your fear. Fear is the most powerful emotion that we have. Look, love is powerful. Hate is powerful. But I'm sorry,
fear?
nothing beats fear. Because if I can make you afraid that your colleagues are going to find out that you had this whatever, porn or these pictures out there, you'll pay me, even though I have nothing. So if you feed on that fear, if you live in fear, you'll do whatever I say. And those that work in social engineering, those that scam people know this. Now,
can you talk about that social engineering right quick? Because just in case some people are new
so
to
social engineering is a way to gather information just by looking at what you have made publicly available and or added me as a friend, and you don't even know who I am, right? I just said I was your friend, and how you added me, I can see your entire life and all your friends, and I can talk about everything. Or you did one of those dumbass surveys on Facebook.
That's true.
What Disney character are you? Hey, so what's this? What's that? And it's all your personal questions that you would answer to reset your password.
Right.
You now gave that to somebody.
I like I'm gonna add on something to that, because when it comes to those questions, for those of you who are looking for password recovery questions, I mean, most of your followers already know this, but for my followers who are not familiar with this, is to not answer it truthfully. Like, what is your favorite color? Give it like, hey, a house dog. You know what I'm saying? That'd be your color.
What is your favorite color?
Right.
Binary red. What? What is that?
Right. Or throw some numbers in there. Like, it's an open field for you to type in whatever. You can type out a whole sentence if you want to.
It always is. All of those are open. I knew
Yeah.
someone that literally would put their default, everything was whatever the default was.
Right.
So they never had their real birthday in there. They never had the real anything. Literally, whatever the default was, that's what they would put in. So they were literally like 1,000 years old.
Right.
If it let you go back to like January 1900, that's what they put in as their answer.
Smart, man. All right, sorry to digress, but I just wanted to add
But
that
yeah,
on.
but you're not wrong, right? So all these fields, all these things, we give away this information freely.
Yeah.
And
you get your Security Plus cert from this.
Right? Unfortunately, when we do this, it makes things a lot harder. And so if you get and all right, so P Bell just said there, if you give the wrong information, just like remember what information you give. And so my advice to that is, if you're going to give the wrong information, this is the one and only time I will tell you this. If you are going to give the wrong information, make it the same information. That is the only time. Because if it has nothing to do with you, I have never once heard, and again, it could have happened, it may have happened, I just haven't heard about it, of somebody pulling somebody's security question answers from a database. I've heard passwords, I've heard emails, I've heard phone numbers, but that's because that's all PII. Right. So not to say it hasn't happened, not to say it doesn't happen, just to say it has not been mentioned.
Right.
So if you're going to give the wrong answers, this is the only time I'll tell you, give the same wrong answers every time.
Love it.
And again, it is solely based on the fact that a lot of times you will give answers that are impossible for you to remember, unless you write them down or give the same ones all the time. That's the only time I'll tell you to do that. What's your mother's maiden name?
Purple unicorn. There you
go. Right? Like, I don't know. Freaking Thor? I don't know.
She got the long flowing locks.
Odinson. That's my mother's maiden name is Odinson.
All right. Oh man. All right. We have the 30
but when you
minute
look
mark.
at these things, right? Yeah. When you look at these things, when you truly think about it, see, our personal lives are for everybody on blast. You see, it is 2024. Social media is the biggest thing in our lives. And for anybody who denies that, then they're not watching this show, because social media isn't that big to them. Yeah. Those that are watching this show have a presence on social media. They share family pictures. They share personal pictures. They share pictures of their dog. They talk about their dog named Fluffy and all these other things. Their cat named, I don't know, Skippo or something like that. Who knows? But all of this stuff is out there. You're putting all of your life in front of other people.
Yeah.
And which has made it a lot easier for somebody who wants to take your money, who wants to take your identity, who wants to scam other people by using your identity. You've made their job a lot easier. You see, prior to the internet, prior to social media, somebody actually had to con you in person. Now, I no longer have to meet you in person. Mm-hmm. Now I can simply do a simple Google search for your name and see everything you've put online. I can go on Facebook and see what you have public. I can see who you represent within politics. I can see who you support. I can see who you support within football teams or baseball teams or soccer teams or tennis teams or whatever the case may be. I can see all this online for free. I don't have to do a thing. Yeah. You did all the work for me because you made it all public. So you want to protect your finances. You want to protect your data. You want to protect who you are as a person. Quit sharing your life to the world. Make all your information private. And let's be honest, Meta is going to sell your data. They're going to sell your information. Google is going to sell your information. Apple is going to sell your information. All these companies are going to do it. So before you post something, before you say something, before you give this information away freely, realize that if you tell them, they're going to tell somebody else. And I will all but guarantee this because all you got to do is talk about something that you've never talked about before in front of your phone, within range of your phone, or any smart device that you have. Because let's be honest, between Google Home and Siri and Amazon and
you
all
talked
these
about your watch too.
You have in your home. I got the Apple Watch right here.
Yeah.
I know this, and that's the difference. Is I know what I'm doing. I know what is listening, and I really don't care personally. That's just me. Go ahead and listen in. What are you going to find out about me? Everything I tell the world anyways. I'm on YouTube talking about this shit on a regular basis. I don't care. But if you care and you want to protect your information, then please secure it. If you're going to have these home devices, just be cognizant that they're always listening. Or how else would they know when you said the phrase that pays? How else would they know when you called their name? The only way to know that is to always be on. So before you think, oh, Google or Apple said we're not always, dude, I can right now say, hey, whatever, and my watch will respond to me, or my phone. I can say, hey, in the other name, and the home device on my desk would listen to me. I can go upstairs. I've got all three services in my house. Let's be honest. You're going to get on all of them. But at the end of the day, the moment you go to Facebook, you will have those ads. The moment you go on Google, you will have those ads. Data removal isn't always going to work.
So Eric, for the audio people, that because I'm gonna put this up for the actual podcast thing. So Eric says pay for one of those data removal sites for a couple of months.
Optory, delete me, and there's a few others.
Yeah. All right.
I know what he's talking about. There are a few out there.
Okay.
But so the goal is to delete all of your information online.
Yeah. I don't think you can.
You can't. So again, this goes back to the whole thing. Facebook has it all, or Meta rather. Because whether you're on Instagram or Facebook, it doesn't matter. It's the same brand. WhatsApp, same brand. If you all right, so on that same note and on that same token, if you think Instagram Messenger, now that they have encrypted messages end to end, or WhatsApp, now that freaking Meta owns it, or anything like that is secure and they can't see what you're saying, you're lying to yourself. You truly are. They see it all. If a big corporation owns these companies, they see everything you do. And so they know your search history. They know what you're doing. They know where you're at. So, yes, will delete me and things like that work temporarily? Sure. But should you really have to do it all the time? No.
Right. And I
It could happen.
believe before some of these tools, and I was hearing, I'll say at least maybe 10 years ago, they were saying that like Facebook was already holding your data for 7 years anyway. And it's backed up servers. I mean, hopefully people don't believe that they only keep the servers here in the US.
Oh no, it's a data center. It's on AWS and GCP and Azure.
Right.
So wherever Microsoft, AWS, and them, it may be only in the US.
Right.
But let's look at it this way. Even if it was, let's give a little bit a little deeper on this one. TikTok's US data is only hosted in the US. Oracle owns it all. So if we're really concerned about our data, why is there such an uproar about TikTok? Because all that
Good
data,
question.
all of US data is hosted in Texas in Oracle servers. So if that was really the concern, if your data being in the US was really a concern, then all of this would be null and void. But the problem is it's not about that. Meta will still sell it. You see, they complain about China. Yeah, again, Eric, helpful, delete me, things like that, helpful a little bit for a little while to cover some things, but once it's on the internet, it's on the internet.
Right.
Let's be
That's
honest.
it. Yeah.
So when we're looking at our data, when we're looking at our information, if something like China can go to Facebook and say, I'll give you $500,000 for all this information. $500,000, they're gladly, that's cheap. Sure, here you go.
Right.
Why would I run a business when I can buy it all for $500,000?
Yeah.
Even if it was, I don't know, 10 mil. Let's just say, let's throw a couple million on there.
Yeah.
It's still cheaper than running a business, than running something at the height of what this is. So Meta collecting your data, Google collecting your data, Microsoft collecting your data, all this stuff is allowing your personal information to hit the dark web. It's allowing your personal information to get in the hands of adversaries. And let's be honest, my information got out there for the first time ever because of OPM, a government agency. So if you're going to sit there and say the government protects my information, no, the hell they don't.
Right.
They didn't protect mine when I was in the service. You think they're protecting yours? They don't care. When it comes to your finances, when it comes to your data, when it comes to who you are as a person, it's on you to protect it. Not on anybody else. It's on you. Only put out there what you want others to have and realize that if it's on the internet, it's permanent. It is for life until the power grid dies. Until such time, somebody has all your information. Guaranteed. And I know it's like cynical to say it that way, but it's very true.
Yeah.
For anybody that has ever worked in IT and cyber, it's true.
Because it's scary. As a normal consumer, they feel as though they're safe based on what they hear about and just thinking that, oh, okay, well, I don't have to care about it because nothing happened to me directly. It's not about you. It's about who you know sometimes.
Dude, I never thought anything would get through. Like, I'm like, who am I?
Yeah.
Like, who's my wife? Like, what?
Right.
Really? What are you going to do? Like, I'm broke. The worst thing you can do is increase my credit score. Like, let's be honest. Like,
so true.
Come on now. But at the end of the day, to find out, like, legitimately, I had people that kept getting into my wife's accounts, her Google account, her Amazon account, her whatever, because her computer got owned. And she was doesn't matter what I say, she was reusing passwords over and over through all the services. So they got to them all.
Right.
Now we fixed it all, but then it happened again slightly until we changed her phone. I think it came through the phone and got to her computer, but regardless of how it got there, it got there.
The ecosystem.
So,
yeah.
It was still there. I never thought that would happen to me and my family. Because who am I? Again, I'm broke.
Right.
Literally. I don't have some perfect credit score where you can go out and take out a mortgage or a home loan or a credit card or anything. I could barely take out a credit card. Hell, USAA is like, you can take out a secured credit card with what money, homie? I can't put no money on a secured credit card.
Right. Because you need money to put money on the secured credit card.
Like, what do you want from me?
I give you $20.
Things,
right.
And I'm like, who's going to come after me? But they still do. And here's the thing. in this day and age, and this is what I've learned. And so this is going to tie into the next topic about AI, which is going to be AI video. And this is why I want to tie it into that.
All right, before we go to the AI video piece, I have a drink session that I want to do before we dive into that. Is like you
All
good
right,
with that?
you do that, and then we'll jump right back in.
All right, cool. All right, everybody, hold tight. Make sure y'all got y'all drinks. For those of you new, I like to have a drink. I'm doing a mocktail today, so
I saw that.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. All right, hold on, everybody. All right, so the thing about this, I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to make it. I'm gonna try to make this work.
Dude, I saw ginger beer and got scared. I had it here. My brother-in-law had me, like, they bought me this whole setup for mules. I can't do it, but I tried. Tasted disgusting.
Oh,
so you with your ginger beer, yo, go for it.
All right. So what I'm gonna do? This is how you cut the ginger beer. You throw a little bit of lemon.
Okay.
I'm using the mason jar. Matter of fact, I was drinking it the whole time. So we're gonna go about this far with the mason jar. I got the, what do they call it? This is Q Mixer's Tropical Ginger Beer. For those of you can see. And then nice little fizzy fizz. We're gonna pour that up in there. I'm gonna throw the whole can in there. Oh jeez. All right.
That might not have been the best of ideas there,
Right.
Anthony.
And then we're gonna top it off with a little bit of strawberry grenadine, strawberry syrup, because it is strawberry season. Like, why not? I don't even think you're supposed to shake it, but
It's not an IPA.
Right.
Eric, I only look. All right, so I'm a big IPA fan, and I'm a big Yingling fan. Granted, my go-to IPAs get me ripped before I can finish a show. For anybody who's watched my show, like that tuned in on my channel, they should know. Broken Skull, I get through like 4.5 of those, and have to stop.
Jeez.
I'm ripped beyond all belief. And if I get the double IPA, it's even worse.
Okay. This actually doesn't taste that bad. It tastes like more of a pineapple drink, surprisingly.
Well, see ginger beer. I don't know if it has too much alcohol in it.
Oh no, this is all this is a mocktail, so it's not even non-alcoholic.
See, yeah, no, I had
You
and some other stuff in mine because it's a mule, and
right.
yeah. Look, I don't know how my brother-in-law drinks it. Like him and my sister love it, and I'm just kind of like, I tried. I like the mule cups.
The cups are great.
Use a vodka, but
yeah,
this whole ginger thing just doesn't work for me.
Right. You should try making your own ginger beer. I was air quotes here because you don't have to really like burp and all that stuff like that. Just to make the juice, and then try it in with alcohol. It actually tastes a lot better.
I'll give it a shot. I want to brew my own beer eventually. I'm just too busy right now to actually do that.
No, you good. All right. So, go ahead on and talk about the video and AI, and then after that, we're gonna do the drawing.
Oh, AI is such an amazing thing, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is I saw a video recently, and I knew it was possible, right? In the back of my mind, like things I've seen, you can make. People have been complaining about, oh, this is an AI image. Somebody put my face or whatever on a different body or used AI. Da 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 da. Cool. It wasn't until I saw a video of a person that had an AI. It was called deep fake or deep FaceTime AI or something along those lines. It was basically a plugin that can attach to Zoom, Teams, your phone, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And make your face look however you want it. Legitimately, this girl was the girl doing it that was doing a proof of concept type of deal of this. She had dark hair, like black hair.
Yeah.
And she was of Chinese or Japanese or Korean descent. I don't know. She one of the Oriental countries. Apologies, I don't know them all, but she was from over there. And it went from long black hair to short kind of pigtails on the side and almost a more round, I don't want to say mannish face, but definitely a different face completely.
Right.
And went from like Anthony, your face type to my face type. Like it was
Wow.
one of those things. And everything she did, the video did. So she had her video and then the overlay. And
Yeah.
it was literally, if she grabbed her cheeks, it grabbed her cheeks. The whole nine. So you see these things. Deep fake, deep videos, deep fake videos,
Mhm.
deep fake images. If you put your image out there, your likeness out there, somebody can take it if they really want to use it. Truly. And so when we think about how do we protect ourselves, one,
Especially with the multi-factor authentication or MFA. Yeah.
now the kicker to that is I have not seen deepfake video or images be used to bypass MFA.
Ooh,
So
okay.
not your facial interaction. You can't do iris with that. Thumbprints or fingerprints I haven't seen. Face would be the only thing I could think they could clone, like that
Mhm.
they can bypass, but that's only available on your phone. Well, no, you got Windows Hello. Microsoft allows it. So you have a camera, you can do Windows Hello. But again, that's all local. So from a virtual construct, I've not seen any organization utilize facial recognition as a way to log in through a desktop or a laptop. So now once that happens, whole different can of worms. Whole different can of worms. If I can use a desktop or laptop using facial recog to log into my bank,
That's but if you can use facial recognition to get inside your cell phone, and most cell phones already have access to your bank, could you possibly do it that way?
how would you get my likeness?
Uh,
So how would you show my likeness to the camera? And keep in mind, people, so this was a big thing with Apple.
mhm.
Now, I don't know what came of it. I have not done the research, but it was understood that in order to use facial recog on an Apple phone, you actually had to be alive and looking at it. Someone that was dead, somebody that was asleep, it would not unlock for them.
Good. Okay.
So whether or not that's true anymore, I don't know. But I find it hard to believe using an image or some type of video overlay would unlock someone's phone to then allow them to log into the bank. Not to say it's impossible. I think
Right.
it's completely possible. Again, I'm a cynic when it comes to cybersecurity and think that somebody's going to find their way around everything. But it is one of those things where I've just not seen the article or somebody do it yet. There has not yet been a proof of concept for it.
Got you. So, all right. So I want to let's do it this way before I get to the drawing. What is the one pet peeve that you have for end users? That
Password reuse. That's legitimately a password reuse. Because here's the thing.
Right.
This is why people call me when they lose their Instagram accounts or their Twitter accounts or whatever. And I say, okay, were you using the same passwords on everything? Because in order to get into one, you usually have to have access to the email. Well, if I
Right.
gain access to your email, I can gain access to everything else if I got to do a password reset. And 9 times out of 10, they say, oh, I was using the same password on everything. Which means I don't even need to reset your password. I really don't.
Right.
The only reason I reset it is so you can't get into it. So I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna change the phone number. I'm gonna change the email. I'm gonna change everything it's linked to. Deuces. Good luck getting it back.
Right.
And with things like Meta, who have the worst I've been hacked type of account recoveries ever. Good luck getting those accounts back because I've lost all my contacts within Meta. I have yet to find another person that would be willing to open up support requests and get me accounts back. I've been working on it. Hasn't happened yet. So losing a Facebook or Instagram account, you might as well just go create a new one because One, you use password reuse, so you can kick people out of your email. And Google is very good about giving you your accounts back. There are certain things you got to prove, but you can get your accounts back relatively easily. And then you just kick everybody out. And if you want a lesson on that, I did a whole video series on my YouTube channel, and actually I think on TikTok also, about how to kick people out of your accounts and secure your social media accounts.
Oh yeah,
but
we gotta bring that up. I'll definitely do that on another show.
Yeah. So you kick all them out, get back to your email, and you're good to go. But getting your IG or your Facebook back, nigh on impossible anymore. Work for when you go to I've been hacked, like it's just a runaround. It's a whole loop of things that never works out for you. Twitter, I used to have contacts there. I don't think I do anymore, but there's still, it's not impossible to get your Twitter or X accounts back. Those are a little bit easier than Meta. And then TikTok, I've never had anybody lose their TikTok account, so I don't know. I mean, there's been bans, but I've never had anybody been like, "Hey, my account's been hacked." That I haven't seen that happen. So
that is interesting. I haven't heard anybody about that either, unless they're keeping that on a hush hush. Because I haven't heard anybody. As many users that they have, I have yet to hear that my Twitter account's been hacked.
Mine have been IG. The ones that have reached out to me: IG, Facebook, Twitter, or X. I mean, if we're gonna go, it is technically X now. Those three, for especially because I deal with a lot of wrestlers. So
nice.
Dealing with wrestlers, their social media presence is very important. Those are the three biggest to get their presence known. So that's where all those come from. Right. I hope people from like my channel count for yours, because I saw some.
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple people. So if you guys are tuning in on YouTube, right quick, go on and take a moment and just give a thumbs up. Because it kind of helps out the show, help both our shows out, so people can find us a little bit more and get us going. So, all right. So I have on the screen hashtag I will do it. If you want to go on and get inside this mug giveaway, go on and type that into the chat, whichever platform you're on, and we're gonna have some waiting music. So in the meantime, while they're going through that, so what's been going on with you, man? I mean, we talked about all the AI stuff and everything like that. What's gonna take you to that next level? What do you feel that you're missing out on that you should take advantage of?
For me, and it's funny that we're on this show because it's financial.
Yeah.
Recently I got my 100% through the VA.
Congrats.
For multitude of reasons. So between that and work and taxes ever kick in, I finally paid off 4 credit cards.
Nice.
I'm working on paying off them all because I have, I don't know, I just bought a furniture set, a bed. About for me becoming debt free and wanting to, like, I got 5 boys. Some are going to college, some might go to trade school, some might go to the military, who knows. But being able to afford everything for them and allow them to get vehicles and things like that so they can drive. But I still want to be able to buy a truck. So for me, it's being able to afford in cash what I want.
Nice.
And so me and my wife talked a lot about it. And again, me and you talked before the show. I suck with money. I just blow money. I am, when it comes to discipline, I am one of the worst. And again, it has nothing to do with not knowing how to do it. I see nice things and I want nice things. I just kind of like go, my kids want a PS5. Okay, I'll go buy it. Like, that's kind of how I am. If I have the money, and I'll put it on credit cards, which is again how I ended up with so many credit cards. Was just that people were like, hey, you can have this card. Bad idea. Okay, cool. Out now. One of the worst things I ever did was in college. I got a one of my banks gave me, I think it was at the time,
probably like a Frisbee.
I think it was like a $3,000 credit card. And I was in my second year of college, and I was like, "Oh, I need a new computer." So what did I do? I walked into Best Buy, found the best computer I could find, the best laptop, and I put it on a credit card.
Wow.
Like that was my mindset at that time. was
Yeah.
I've got money. No, I didn't have money. I thought I had money, right? Stupid
Yeah.
teenager. Well, I
The
think I was
illusion.
like in my early 20s, but like still stupid. And being like, oh yeah, it's a credit card. I'll pay it off. No big deal. Until you lose your job or your job cuts you down because you're working hourly to like 2 days a week or whatever the case may be. It took a lot of changing to start looking at things differently and taking responsibility for the fact that I got to pay this off and I want to be able to pay cash for a truck. I want to be able to pay cash for, and I don't care how long it takes to save up for it. I don't want to be in debt.
Yeah.
I want to pay off my house. I want to pay off my vehicles. I want to be able to sit there. And if my kids say, hey, I want this, cool, here you go. And not worrying about, wait, I got like 5 credit cards I got to pay. And like doing math. I don't want to have to do math in my head to figure out if I can afford something.
Right.
Yeah, we could do it.
Just get it.
My goal is to be debt free.
Yeah.
And it's just, it takes a mindset shift and really like buckling down and looking at it. And I will not buy things like beer or cigarettes or tattoos or like, the things you don't need in life. I will not buy it unless I know it's in the budget of, okay, this is like something I know it's already budgeted for, or I can afford it. No big deal. I literally set myself, I have like 5 accounts. So good luck trying to get all my money because you're not going to. I got like 5 different accounts with all different passwords and everything else. But be that here or there. I literally have an account just for fun money, just for me to be able to buy beer or buy what I want. And if I want to save up, then I save up in that account. Because then I know that is budgeted to me wanting to spend money on me, not on anything else. And so that's the biggest thing for me is just my wife doesn't use it.
That's what she says. Yeah.
Yeah.
In her book. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really what it comes down to. Like for me, that's what it is for me. Again, careers aside, IT, cybersecurity aside, look, I can give you all the information in the world. I can tell you whatever, but it's nothing that hasn't been told to you before. For anybody watching this, I guarantee you've heard a lot of the same things I say, maybe Anthony has said on whatever. But at the end of the day, for me, it comes down to family and money. And I need to learn how to discipline myself. And I've been working at it, and I work at it every single day to discipline myself to be able to provide for my family.
Yeah.
Because that's my ultimate goal. As long as my family is happy, my wife and my kids, then I'm happy. It means I'm doing right by them as a father, as a husband. So that's my advice. Do what's right for you and your family. Do what's right for you and your brothers and sisters. Do what's right for you and your parents. If I could, ultimately, if I could retire my dad and retire my brother-in-laws and do all this, I would do it in a heartbeat. Don't let me win the lottery, because I win the lottery, everybody's retiring, and I'm going to have a homestead and be like, yo, we all living right here right now.
Yep.
We're going to have our own acreage and forget everybody else. I will go steal some solar panels instead of buying them because I don't want anybody to know we have them. And we're going to put them here and have our own power grid.
You're going to have to buy some land from Zuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, Zuck, give me like 10 acres.
Look, I already said if I could do it, I would just go like literally squat on about 100 acres. And I would literally build a cabin. Go ahead, try to find me. Let's figure it out.
Right.
Do you have an address? Nope. It's a P.O. box about 1,000 miles away. I'll drive there on my quad.
Exactly. Like, nobody need to know where you're at.
You don't need to know me. Like, if I can afford it, I'd do it. In a heartbeat, I'd do it. Does the government know where you're at? Nope. No, they don't. Does Facebook? Nah, I left them behind. I don't know. Right.
Oh, man. So I get some cheek implants and everything.
Right.
All right. So let's play. I got some music here for.
I will do it
for this drawing, and I have.
And I'll give. So before we end the show, though, I do want to give a reasoning behind that hashtag.
Awesome. All right.
So you do the drawing, and then we'll do the reasoning behind it.
Okay. All right. So for y'all who just joined, it looked like a whole heap of y'all just joined. Go ahead on and type in hashtag I will do it so that you can get inside the drawing to get a mug. I'm giving you one of the About That Wallet mugs. I'm giving you not the 11 ounce. This is the 15 ounce mug.
Ooh.
So this holds a lot of coffee. And if you do hot chocolate like I do, 2 packs of hot chocolate in this thing. And it still tastes amazing. So, all right. So we got some music. Let's see. Hopefully this is the one I like to use. Nah. That's it? No, that's where my other one. Oh, did I delete?
Bueller.
I delete my old stuff. Yeah. I'll try this one.
They can't see me like
All right,
Houdini,
we got this
Houdini,
drawer
I
coming
go
in.
boom. They can't see me like Houdini.
Let's see who wins.
Lamborghini, it go boom. They can't see me like Houdini, move discreetly.
I'm in there like twice.
They can't see me like Houdini, Lamborghini, it go boom. Yellow polka dot.
Hey, Sarah won it. Let's go. Let's go. Congrats,
That's Facebook,
congrats.
which makes it even easier.
Right,
YouTube's hard because you can't just message YouTube people half the time.
right. And there's a lot of YouTube people in here.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, Sarah, you always win. This is your second time winning for me, so I have your information. I'll just mail it to you.
There you go. She's
So-
already getting it. She's like,
Yeah,
you
she
got
got
this
it.
second time. We're good.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit behind the hashtag that was used?
So the reason I choose that hashtag is 2 reasons. One, I am a huge nerd, as we discussed. And one of my favorite sayings comes from Yoda from Star Wars. Do or do not, there is no try.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything we do in life is about a mindset, right? You want to advance your career, you want to learn something, you want to grow, you want to become better with money, you want to become more disciplined, you want to go to the gym, you want to lose weight, whatever the case may be. If you say, I'm going to try, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
You've already made it up in your mind that there's a chance you're going to fail. If you say, I can, yeah, you're right. But instead of saying I can, say I will. Because I can is not the ultimate decider, right? You're not deciding to actually do it. You're just saying, oh, I can do this. But are you going to?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You can go back to dad jokes, right? Or when we were in school. Can I have a pencil? I don't know. Can you?
Right. So you on it? Yeah.
I will. I will do it. Whatever you set your mind to, you can do. But it can't be, I'm going to try. It can't be, well, it might happen. It can't be, well, I can do this. No. It's I will. I will accomplish it. I will do it. I will make this change. I will accomplish whatever I set my mind to. And so I will do it in terms of IT, in terms of self-preservation, in terms of loving your family, in terms of finding whatever it is you want to find in life, in terms of being better with money, in terms of whatever it is, I will. You wake up every morning and you give yourself that affirmation. I will accomplish this. I will do this. I am going to do it. Versus, well, I'm going to try to get this, and this done today. No, you're not. The moment you say try, you've already failed.
Yeah.
You've already failed. Because your mind's not going to be in it, because we are in a time of life where our attention spans are 8 seconds long. 8 seconds.
It's shorter. It's shorter. We down to like 6.
If that.
If that.
And so you can't say I can. You can't say I'm going to try. It has to be I will.
Yeah.
I have had to leave my desk, and I have a nice sized desk, 3 computers or 3 monitors and 2 computers.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to leave my desk and go to my bedroom so that I get work done. Because my mind goes and looks at all the different monitors. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to put this up here, this up here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Remember, and please, I beg of you, for anybody out there listening or watching, realize there is no such thing as multitasking. It is called context switching. Now, your mind may do it very quickly, and I'm talking milliseconds. But the actual concept of multitasking doesn't exist. because you are not giving 100% to any task.
Facts.
Finish one task, give it your all, and then move on to the next. If you sit there and tell me you're a multitasker, I'm going to tell you you're inefficient and you're not going to ever do anything to the rate or the level that you could actually accomplish it if you gave it your all. No such thing as multitasking. Don't lie to yourself and don't lie to anybody else. It does not exist. Your brain cannot function that way.
If somebody came to you in an interview and said it, oh yeah, I'm a great multitasker, do you just like, all right, whatever, and you like just throw their resume in the trash at that point?
No, because it's been a big thing within all the industries. Every industry talks about it. Wasn't until recently that I realized, and I started listening to a lot of different people talk about it, doctors, psychologists, things like this, about what multitasking really is, and it doesn't exist.
Not for the humans, no.
According to science, and again, I'm not one of those people that can be like, oh yeah, it was this article or this video. Look, Google it. DuckDuckGo it, actually. Don't do Google. Use DuckDuckGo. Look it up and legitimately figure out if multitasking is real. It is real in the sense of, yes, I can do multiple things at once, but you are not giving your 100% to any one thing.
Right.
Your ability to focus and do things is split throughout all the tasks you're doing. So let's, for instance, say you're listening to a book and writing a report, and doing something else. You are not giving 100% to that report that you have to. You are not actively listening to the book that you're trying to listen to, because now you're just listening to hear it. You're not actually actively listening to it, which makes it hard for me to do podcasts or listen to podcasts, because I can't actively listen. Because in order for me to find time to listen to a podcast, I have to be doing something that doesn't require my attention, that I can actually actively listen. A whole different concept, but active listening and just hearing, two different things. And then you have, let's say you're doing a third task. So how good is that report going to be? How much of that podcast did you actually take in? Or that TV show you were watching or whatever you were doing? And if you post on social media, do you even remember what you typed on there?
Right.
Do you even remember what you read from anything else that you're reading online? Probably not. You're not giving 100% of your attention to any one thing. So being able to retain that information is non-existent or very limited.
Man, you preaching today. So I'd love to have it continue on. But man, I have to say that we went through a lot today. And I have to say, like, man, you sure you don't preach on like Sundays or something?
So here's the thing, right? All right. So I know we're coming up, we're well over an hour. We're at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But the big thing for me is, if somebody would pay me to be a motivational or an inspirational or some type of speaker, I would do that. I would leave everything as far as my career behind and do that in a heartbeat.
Well, because
I love people and I want to help people. And to me, I can help you in your career field, or I can help people on a more broader scale.
So that's my goal this year, is to actually get a paid gig. Once I get one, I'm definitely calling you and be like, dude, even though they slide me 10, I'll slide you 2 or something, just to kind of get people warmed up. Like, yo, let's do this together. Like,
I would love to do it. Because like, I'm one of those people, I love inspiring others. Yeah. And I love getting people to think more logically about things, because too many times, look, you don't get that job right away.
Yeah.
What are you going to blame it on? I personally blamed my lack of being able to get a job out of the military on a lot of different things, until my dad called me and was like, and he knew the company I was trying to work for. Yeah. They were one of his auditors, and he was like, yo, did you apply here and interview? And I was like, yeah. He goes, you didn't get the job. And I said, why not? He goes, because you put yourself out of the market.
Wow.
You asked for too much money that they weren't willing to pay. I said, Dad, they didn't even give me a counter offer. He said it didn't matter. They didn't feel like that you would take any offer they gave you, because you priced yourself out of the market.
Right. But the funny thing is, though, when I started my IT career, I priced myself too low, because I didn't even know anything, because I was like, well, I'm new to IT. I was like, cool, I'm a supervisor working at a movie theater. I'm only making about at the time it was like $8 an hour as a supervisor. They come in. I'm up here thinking I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them for this. I was like, I want $10 an hour. They was like, cool, you're hired. I was like, what? They was like, and then the guy pulled me to the side. He was like, do you not ever sell yourself short?
Yeah.
He was like, we're giving people $14 an hour. I'm already like,
but here's the problem, right? And I understand business.
yeah.
However, when you get those good managers, those good leaders,
Yeah.
they will not allow that to happen.
Right.
So here's the thing. I worked for an organization.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so I was getting paid 95. I think I wanted a 10 grand raise. I was like, I want 105 doing
Right.
X, Y, and Z. They said, I was going to give you 110 or 115. It was way over what I was asking for a raise. Said, bet, help me do it. But again, it was one of those companies that you either get it or you don't. It's based on how the company's doing,
right?
If they can afford to, give you that raise. Da 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 da. A lot goes into it, but at the end of the day, my boss, my leader, was like, "You deserve this." And so this is why I say, when it comes down to selling yourself, again, to your point, don't sell yourself short, but at the same time, know the market. So don't go in there as somebody junior in any career field. If you're a massage therapist, if you're a teacher, if you're a lawyer, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're just breaking in, please do your research on the median salaries.
Yeah.
What's the low end? What's the high end? What's the middle? And if you realize you know absolutely nothing or just enough to get the job, I'd only say give yourself $5 grand over what the minimum is.
Okay.
5 to 10. But if a company is offering their salary range, 5 to 10 over what their range low end is. And again, that's just because they're going to come back and they're like, well, how about this? And you're going to take it.
Yeah.
You're legitimately going to take it because you're just breaking in. You want to get your foot in the door, but now you're still getting paid more than either what you were making or what they would have offered initially. Because now they're like, oh, they want 10 grand more in order to get them. Let's split the difference and let's come in the middle. A lot of times it's going to happen. But I'm sorry, if you know absolutely nothing or you're just breaking in and you're like, oh, I want 20 grand more than what the minimum is. I hope you've done a lot of labs and actually know your shit. Or else I'm going to look at you like, no.
Yeah.
Let's find somebody else.
Right.
And again, nothing against it. Yo, you do you, boo-boo. Whatever you need to survive, please do it. Just make sure you find a company that can pay it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, because I probably had to talk. I would like to bring you back on to talk about career navigating the career in IT, getting started and everything like that. I know.
Tomorrow, homie. Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow your show.
Look.
So let's go.
So whoever wants to tune in tomorrow on Security Happy Hour, and then I'll come back on here for those that don't watch Security Happy Hour. Me and you can have that conversation again, Anthony. But tomorrow, we're talking about becoming a CISO, the pros and cons, how to go from entry level to CISO, all these different things. Huge topic, great guest. Tomorrow on Cyber Warrior Studios, I've got an amazing guest plan that we're going to be talking about all that. So definitely, Anthony, I will take advice she gives me because my guest, Carla, is going to be amazing. And I'm sure she's going to tell me shit that even I don't know because most of my guests do. And we'll
that's what they're there for. Like you get information. Like that's one of the things I love about the podcast side of the house. It's like people will charge thousands of dollars, but they'll come on the podcast for free. And that's where I get all my information. So so you say you already because you do mostly live shows, right?
All my Friday shows are live.
All right. So you gotta
right there.
Right here. All right. So for those of you who are watching right now, I actually have it pulled up. And for those of you who are listening, I'm so jealous that you actually are able to do a trailer before your shows. Like I'm trying to get there eventually.
Dude, it took me a little while. I gotta change it up because I've had so many other shows that I need to come up with a new one.
Yeah. I love it though. I mean, it's great. So definitely, oh man, already you want to be a CISO. So she's already going to talk about how to get there. That's perfect opportunity and a perfect segue to kind of go ahead on and make sure everybody go ahead on and sign up to your YouTube channel, Get locked in. Listen to it live every Friday.
And you know what's funny? We talk about AI.
Yeah.
Chat GPT does my descriptions.
Nice.
Did you not? I got so tired of trying to write that shit. I just started putting in the Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Literally, other than me adding my YouTube link,
Mm-hmm.
it puts everything in there for me.
Oh, all your Discords and everything?
Yep.
Oh, did you create your own GPT?
Nope. I literally, as long as you put the links in there, and I will send you an example, Anthony, of what I do, like what I put into mine.
Yeah.
This, I literally, it puts the time in, it puts the YouTube, like join us live on YouTube.
Yeah.
I changed that. It puts everything else in there.
What? Live discussions, everything. Wow, Q&A session. Because you already gave it your format of how your show runs anyway.
No, I didn't even do that. I came up with that format.
What? Dude. Okay. I'm going to play around with it some more because I've been using Capshow for most of my stuff, but just for the regular podcast on the back end. But
yeah,
we can nerd out on
it.
the
I
back
haven't put up an audio episode of my podcast in forever. I am way behind and still paying for it. Talk about wasting money. It's one of those things.
Right.
Like, I'm going to do it eventually. I haven't done that shit in probably like 20 episodes. I guess too much time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll show it to you. Me and you will talk.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to send you sign up for Chat GPT through your Gmail or whatever you're using.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'll send you what I use, convert it to kind of like your show format and the information you want for your descriptions, and then it'll go about its merry way.
That's amazing. All right.
And it gives me titles and everything.
What am I doing? All right. So I need to play around with this some more.
We'll talk.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
We'll talk because we'll get it figured out. Griffin InfoSec, finally, he's a member on my channel. Well, an actual member. I love him.
Oh, nice.
I know you'll be there tomorrow. You're always there. Love you, homie. He's been on the show once or twice.
Nice.
So, and there's a whole story behind that.
Oh, can you just give people how they can meet you and everything like that?
So with the exception of X, with the exception of Twitter, all of my handles are at Cyber Warrior Studios. If you go on LinkedIn, just quick search for Cyber Warrior Studios. I'm not going to give that link. LinkedIn makes it difficult. Just do at Cyber Warrior Studios. It'll pop up. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all Cyber Warrior Studios. Twitter is Cyber Warrior ST1. Only because I didn't realize at the time, I was still kind of new-ish to figuring out Twitter. I didn't realize at the time that I can adjust my handle. And I have had it for so long, I don't feel like changing it now because it's in all the descriptions of all my videos. I'm just like, I'm not going back and changing it. It can just stay that way. CyberWarriorStudios.com does exist. There's merchandise and all this other stuff. Discord.cyberwarriorstudios.com gets you to my Discord server. And if you don't feel like looking up YouTube, youtube.cyberwarriorstudios.com gets you to my YouTube channel. So I have all the links in there. It's all there.
Yep. Awesome. I'll make sure I'll update the show notes to make sure we get all your stuff in there. Because I think I have some of your stuff. I know at least got the YouTube.
Yeah, you have like I think Twitter and a few others. I'd have to look.
Yeah, because you're mostly active on X. So that's why I was like, yeah, that's the guy.
You have my website, you have YouTube, and you have X. So yeah, that works.
Okay. Perfect. All right, everybody. If you got something out of this, make sure either A, you share this with somebody, and two, even if you commented on the live chat, leave something in the comments down below because it will allow people to have more interactions and stuff like that so that they can either continue on this conversation that's mostly needed across the realm, because we either need to protect ourselves on the web, try to mitigate our information being stolen, or at least taking away our free time, because obviously our free time is to play around in social, digress, and everything like that. We don't want to deal with somebody trying to hack our stuff. Just do your due diligence and be safe out there, everybody. All right, just hang back a little bit while I play the outro.
Yeah,
cool. All right, everybody, y'all be safe. I'm out. Peace.